Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Hello Spring podcast, where we explore creativity, storytelling, and the people who bring dreams to life. Today's guest is someone who's done exactly just that, both on screen and behind the scenes. With over 25 years in the entertainment industry, Kimberly Crandall is a powerhouse, an acclaimed television and film actor, a beloved acting coach, and a guiding light for performers of all ages. You might recognize her from her memorable recurring role on all 6 seasons of Fresh Off the Boat, or from her appearances on shows like Scandal, Criminal Minds, ER, Gossip Girl, and so many more. But Kimberly's impact does not stop with her acting resume. As one of the co-owners and head coach of Actorsite, a cornerstone of the Los Angeles acting community, she's trained everyone from wide-eyed beginners to Broadway stars to Marvel superheroes. Her approach? Empowering actors to step fully into their craft with confidence, curiosity, and joy. Whether she's working with students across the US, Canada, Australia, or Europe, or coaching one-on-one from her home studio, Kimberly is all about helping people find their spark and trust their voice in this wild world of showbiz. In today's conversation, we're diving into her incredible career journey, behind-the-scenes stories from set, and the heart behind her teaching. Plus, we'll talk about building a career that lasts, from the highs and the lows of being an actor in 2025 and all that fun jazz. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and get ready for a very impactful and inspiring chat with Kimberly Crandall, because your spotlight, it's waiting. So let's go and let's get into it. Hello, Kimberly. Welcome to the Hello Spring podcast. I hope you're doing well today. How are things
Hi.
going with you?
Oh, I'm having such a great day. Thanks for having me. It's exciting to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you for accepting my request to be on my podcast. I've been a big fan of yours for a very long time, and you are my coach, and you are wonderful. You are just talented, and just seeing your work on the big screen in theaters, on TV, it's just absolutely amazing.
Oh, you're so
But
sweet.
you're welcome. Anytime. Like, you are just out here killing the game and doing what you got to do.
You're so
Um,
sweet. No, you need to be the president of my fan club now.
oh yes, I sign me up. I will be right there. But for anyone that is new to the podcast and does not know who Kimberly Crandall is, would you be happy to share who you are and what you
Oh,
do?
oh my gosh, yes. Well, hello everybody. I am Kimberly Crandall. I am an actor, and I'm also and a coach. As you heard, I work with actors of all ages, kids, teens, and adults. So that is what I do. I'm an actor, and I'm an acting coach. Woohoo!
Nice. Yes. Yes. You are an actor and you're an acting coach, and you do a phenomenal job on it as well.
Oh,
So, based off of what I know, you have been in this industry for the past 25 years, and that is a long time. You've seen the highs and the lows of the industry for the past over the past 2 decades, and I honestly want to know, like, what first drew you to acting? Like, what was like kept you passionate over the past 2 decades to keep going?
yeah. I think well, and I've been coaching for 25 years, but I've actually been an actor longer, since I was a kid. And it was like it really started when I was young. My mother and my grandmother would take me to different theater shows. Just like regular theater. And I was just kind of enamored as a young child. And I remember when I was probably about maybe 10 years old, 10 or 11, this this girl named Kira Troutman. If you're out there, Kira, reach out. She moved into my little small California town, and we became fast friends. And she had been in the play Annie. And it was like, oh, she's like
Ooh,
an actress. We became fast friends, and then started doing all the school plays and the neighborhood plays and all that stuff. So it really started back when I was a kid. And then I myself started in the theater as I like after, through high school and after high school and whatnot. And then eventually, moved to Los Angeles and went in, you know, full hog for the like TV film world.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
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 That's really cool. Do you ever see yourself ever going back to the theater and trying that out again?
It would be so fun. It's like it's a totally different world, and it's tricky because for the theater, there's like several months of rehearsal, and then depending on how long the run is, it's like a big chunk of your time. And when you're auditioning for TV and film, you don't really have the availability to just like book out. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it's like you have to be available for something if you book a TV show and they want you there next week. So it's a little tricky. So I would love to do it
Yeah.
though. I mean, I suppose every actor would love to be on Broadway one day. I've had students on Broadway, but that would be like a thrill. Or even just, yeah, I suppose yes. The answer to the question is yes. I would love to work in the theater again. It's a lot
I
of
mean,
fun.
it is a lot of fun. I grew up, loving the theater, musicals. It's been like my favorite time to just either see one or be in one. And I would love to go back to the theater one day, like
Yeah.
just to see how it is.
Yeah. The theater is a blast.
It is. So the other question I wanted to ask you, so you have been in this industry for a very long time. And honestly, how have you been, like, how have you seen the acting industry evolve since you began?
Ooh. Oh my gosh, so many things have changed and so many things are exactly the same. Um, well, one thing is it's kind of a small thing, but well, maybe it's done a full circle, like the headshots that people use. They
Mm,
used to be in black and white. There weren't color, the photos. And it was interesting for redheads because you couldn't tell by looking at a black and white photo what color hair somebody, what color hair they had. If they had brown hair or like mine was like strawberry blonde. Now I'm like full on red. Now everything is color, which is lovely because then you can get all the dimension of people. Uh, but kind of like since COVID, everything is self-tape auditions now for the most part. There's a lot of commercial productions that have people do in-person auditions, and every once in a while there might be an in-person callback like for a TV show or a movie, but for the most part everything is self-tape, which really means that more people have opportunities if they don't live in the mainstream markets like LA, New York City, Chicago. But that also means the competition is even stiffer because casting can request more tapes than in the
mm,
past. Like if they were doing an in-person session, they could only see a certain amount of people in a day. They only have so much time, but people are sending in self-tapes. They tend to ask for more than they used to. So it's kind of it's a good thing, but it's also like you got to be on your game. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where coaching comes in.
This is so true.
Yes. Like with the industry changing so much, it's always evolving like every second of every day. It can be so overwhelming, but I've been in this industry for not that long, and I've only been understanding through the world of self-tapes. Do you enjoy doing self-tapes over like what it was before?
I am one of those actors that loves to do a self tape because I tend to be a perfectionist, and I I always like to be able to do it as many times as I need to until it's exactly the way I want it to be. Granted, it's certainly nice to meet casting in person, and they can give you a redirect on the spot or whatnot. But even prior to COVID, where everything kind of changed, if you were like say on location filming something and you got an audition, they would let you send in a self tape. So it's not like this is a totally new world of self tape. But
Okay.
I would always prefer to do a self tape than to be live on the spot and have one shot at it. I want to be able to
Mhm.
do it again if I need to or play around or whatever. So what about you? Do you are you liking the self-tape world even though
Oh, I
that's kind of
love
what
the
you know?
self-tape world. It's my favorite thing to do. I guess because coming from like a video editing, video, just anything background for the past decade, I thoroughly enjoy being able to set up my backdrop, get my audio all correct, my lights and things, and then of course do it over and over and over until I feel like I'm comfortable enough with it.
Yeah.
Um, Especially allows me to practice a little bit more and be like more specific with my choices.
Yeah.
So it's like I do love self tapes.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And I'll be honest, some like today I was telling you earlier I had two auditions that I taped. I have one more to go. And my fiance reads with me and I said to him, I don't know if I'm exactly ready. Be patient with me. And I like got in like two takes and I was like, "Oh, I think I'm happy with that. Let's just move on." So sometimes you don't have to do 10 takes and sometimes you do, it just depends. It depends on the day, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, how do you keep your craft like fresh and inspired after so many years of like going into casting in person and like now doing self tapes? Like, how do you just like remain inspired and
Yeah, it's because of you. It's because of you. I'm really lucky to work with actors of all ages, whether it's like kids and teens and adults as an acting coach, and I also do career consultation as like my day job. Some actors are waiters and waitresses or other types of things, and I get to stay in the loop of like everything Hollywood and entertainment industry. And because of that, like even when I'm not auditioning myself, I'm literally reading and breaking down scripts and characters every single week. So I'm never out of practice. It's a win-win. I'm helping others, but it's also I'm getting help out of it as well.
that's good. I think we all learn from each other day in and day out, and we all can just kind of utilize that in our own craft.
Oh, so true. So true.
Yes. So you have done a lot of films and a lot of TV, and you've worked alongside like James Franco, Jk Simmons, Jeremy Irons, and like you've done a lot. And like, what are some of your favorite memories on like being on set, especially like with James Franco?
Oh yeah. That was a blast. James Franco is a hoot. And that in
Yes.
that film, it was called Dubious Battle, and it was James. He was starring in it and he was directing it, but it was like an all-star cast. Like Selena Gomez was in it, and Josh Hutcherson and Bryan Cranston. I mean, there were so many people. And the funny thing about that is I had auditioned on self-tape, by the way.
Ah,
I did a self-tape for this, and it was a small role. It was like maybe one or two lines, and I booked it. Woohoo! It was so exciting. And about
hey.
2 or 3 weeks before I was going to go shoot, my agent called and she said that the casting director and James had called her, like on a speaker call. And they said that James was talking, I guess. And he said that there was a larger part and another actress had fallen out, and he thought that I could do it and would I do it? And it was like,
Ooh.
duh, of course I'll do it. And so I really got upgraded into this big part where I was there for like 2 or 3 weeks, and it was a blast. But then Hollywood has a way of having a life of its own, not because of like a bad performance, but just timing and other issues with script. My big scenes all got cut.
Oh
So I
no.
was in this little part, I got upgraded to this big huge part, and then it ended up like mostly on the cutting room floor. But that's just like a Hollywood tale. I always tell people, you haven't really made it until you get cut out of something.
True.
Then
That
you've
is
really made it. You
true.
know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's still really amazing that you got to work with like, this all-star cast and be able to be on set and be there for like about 2 to 3 weeks, and it's just like when you first get on set, you take it all in. You see the environment, the people, the sounds, and it's like, wow, I'm actually really here. Like, did you have that same moment?
Oh gosh, I have that moment every time I'm on set. No matter where I am, or like if you're lucky enough to be able to go onto any of the studio lots like in Atlanta or in Los Angeles or New York, it's kind of like it feels magical. Like you walk through the studio gates and it's just like there's fairy dust all over it. It just feels like a magical experience. And I mean, being on set it's like the best thing ever. I think it's like what keeps actors going in between their dry spells. They just remember those
Mhm.
moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the best thing ever. When the day's over, you're just like, "Oh, you don't want it to end." You've had that experience.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Being on Chicago Fire for the very first time, I'm
Mhm.
like, "This feels like a dream,
Yeah.
but I'm here,
Yeah.
and it's real, and I'm alive." And it's just, like, blown away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when it comes to acting, there can be a lot of highs and a lot of lows, especially being in this industry for a long time. Like, what have been some, like, the big challenges, like, sustaining this long-term acting career?
You know, I think the hardest part is probably just like not knowing when your next job is going to come. Will I ever
Mhm.
work again mentality. even like people who win Oscars, that, I've heard them interviewed later and they're like, I don't know if I'll ever work again. And it's like, what? Even they feel that at their level. So it's like you have to kind of realize that rejection isn't really about you and just
Hmm.
learn what keeps you as an individual motivated and inspired, because it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. And I love storytelling. I can't imagine a world without it. I'm constantly telling stories, whether it's on screen or to, my friends or to my clients. And it's just kind of, it's what keeps me going.
Yeah. I think that's what we have to always have, like have a community around us to keep us motivated. And these dark times can be scary, but when you have those like-minded, trustworthy friends and people that you can count on, it's like you don't feel alone in all of
Oh, for
this.
sure. For sure.
Especially like it keeps your mental space so much more clear when you have those people to like who can relate, and you don't have to like worry all the time.
Well, and just talking to your friends and peers and other actors and stuff, you realize you're not alone. Everybody,
Exactly.
and it could be like they might not be having the dry spell that you're having at the moment that you're talking to them, but they have at some point,
Yeah.
and so they can relate. And it's like there's no rhyme or reason to when things, when bookings come in. Like sometimes there'll be a year or two before I'm on set again, and then sometimes I'll do like 2 or 3 TV shows in a matter of a few months. There's just like there's no rhyme or reason to it, and it's sort of cyclical and kind of comes and goes in waves. So it's just like making sure in the in between times that you're just still feeling fulfilled. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you just don't feel
Yeah.
like you're like a shriveled up raisin. That's no
Right,
fun.
that's true. No, no, no.
Mm-mm.
So this is something that I've always wanted to like learn more about, because there was a TV show called Fresh Off the Boat that has, I feel it took the world by storm.
Ooh, yeah.
There was drama in there, there was comedy, there were some happy moments, sad moments. It was just all over the place, but in a good way. That you got to be on that TV show for 6 seasons as a recurring co star, which is so cool. And something that people don't know is like co stars, at least what you have told me, is that it's 5 lines or under, but you play a very significant role in the episode.
In the episode, yeah, I'm playing this character named Lisa. She's one of the kind of neighborhood ladies, and yeah, Fresh Off the Boat was amazing. It was such an amazing experience, and it was just always every time I would get to go on set, it was just a blast. You know what I mean? Hard work.
Mhm.
It's like comedies. This is single camera comedy, so they shoot it like a film. So there's good 12, 14 hour days or whatnot. But it's just like when you're working on a comedy, everybody's having fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's a blast to be able to go in to work on a comedy. It was like it was wonderful, and everybody on set was just, like the cast, the crew, everybody was phenomenal. And seeing those boys grow up, they were so small and teeny in the pilot. They were just little teeny
Right.
boy, and then by the end, like on the finale episode, they were like all taller than me. It's crazy. All three of them, they were like taller than me. It's like, oh my god, you guys grew like weeds.
People grow up so fast, it's
Oh
crazy.
my
Like,
gosh.
what are they feeding the kids these days?
That's so funny. Something in the
S
Starbucks.
I know, crazy. So, walk us through, like, the moment you first got the call that you booked Fresh Off the Boat. Like, what was the day like?
Oh gosh, the day I booked. Oh, Craig, I don't even remember. Is that crazy? It's like I don't remember the day I booked. I
No, it's all
That's so
good.
crazy. Because it was just like the audition itself was just like another audition. I went in, met the cast, made them laugh, which is always a good thing. It was put on
Mhm.
tape. Interesting. So the whole see, that's the thing about the self-tape thing is like the taping aspect isn't a new thing. So it used to be before COVID, for the most part, you would go into an audition at the casting director's office and they would tape you. They would put you on tape. Then they would send those tapes to the producers, or there might be like an in-person producer session. But sometimes you just get booked directly from the tape. So it's just, I know that's off track what you're asking. I do recall though, um, how exciting it was the first day I got to go onto the Fox lot prior to filming the pilot. So they had booked me, and I went in for like a wardrobe fitting and a rollerblade test.
Ooh.
In the pilot episode, the neighborhood ladies had to rollerblade, and they booked us all before finding out if any of us could rollerblade. And
Oh.
so each one of us had to go there and put these rollerblades on and like rollerblade the parking lot of the Fox lot. And they like were videoing us on their phone. And we ended up only rollerblading in that one episode. So crazy.
Hey, that's all you really need,
in
though,
the very
right?
first one. Hey, it worked, so.
Yeah. So you were a one-time role that led on into a reoccurring co-star for like over 6 seasons. Like, what was that transition like?
Yeah, it's interesting. I did a handful of episodes from that first pilot all the way through to the final episode, and each season we would all be like anxiously waiting to see if the show got picked up. The
Mm.
series regulars and the recurring characters, we didn't know. We would never know until until you find out. And it was, everyone was just so great. Everybody was so great there. I made a really close friend, and one of the other gals, this awesome actress named Colleen Ryan. She's awesome. The kids were amazing. Constance Wu, she played the mother. She was so fun. And Randall
Yeah,
Park, I just have to say, Randall Park played the dad. He is just like a class act, just the best. He was phenomenal. And it's
I
like
believe
you
it.
turn your TV on or you go to the movies, he's everywhere.
He
It's like
really
him,
is.
him and Jk Simmons, they are just constantly working. They never stop
Yeah.
working.
It's crazy. I'm like, wait, I've seen you in this, but then you're also in that. I'm like, how you do all that and like stay sane?
Yeah, right. It's like they're just everywhere. They have
I
clones. They're
know.
they're cloned maybe.
I believe it. I believe it. Mm. So for the past 6 seasons, there have been so many memories that you probably could name them all. But like, can you share some like your favorite behind the scene moments or like a memory from set that you remember?
Yeah. I think the thing that pops into my head is I can't remember the name of the episode, but in one of the episodes, the neighborhood ladies, for some reason, think that Evan, the youngest son, is dying. And so we keep bringing
Ah.
like casseroles over and stuff, like friendly neighborhood people would do. And Lisa,
Mhm.
my character, shows up and like rings the doorbell. I've got some casserole, or I don't know what I have, macaroni. I don't know what it was. And upon like Evan opens the door, and I'm totally shocked that he's alive and well. And I can't remember what my lines were, but I said my lines. But the crazy thing is, as I called him Ian, and I called him his real name. I called him by his real name instead of his character's name. It was so crazy. I was embarrassed. Everybody laughed. And then obviously I just did it again, but it just popped out. I was like, "Oh,
Hey,
Ian, you're looking so good," or whatever. And they're like, "Yeah, Kimberly, his name's Evan." It was totally
I feel
crazy.
like it happens so often. At least from what I hear, it happens quite a bit, which is always funny. And then you go back and like re-listen to him, like, did they say somebody else's name? Like that's not the character's name, but they rolled with it and it worked right in.
It just works. I this could be like old wives' tale, but I feel like in the very first Star Wars that happened. There was like I don't know if you ever saw that because it's a super old movie, but
I did.
there's like there's a scene where they're all in some trash compactor or something, and I feel like I heard some story that one of the characters called Carrie, but Carrie like yelled out Carrie. I'll have to go back and watch. I don't
Mm.
know.
Well, honestly, that's really, really cool. Like having to be on Fresh Off the Boat has probably like changed your life in a way because the show was on for 6 seasons. It's very iconic. Everyone knows it, everyone loves it. Like, would you ever want to, like, if you had to choose another TV show that is currently on air to be whether a co-star, guest star, series regular, like what show would you want to be
Oh
on?
yeah. You know, I probably want to be on something like Last of Us. Oh,
Oh,
so good,
yes.
right? So good. Funny tidbit, when the first game came out, I don't know the character's name, but in the very beginning, I'm not spoiling. This came out years ago,
Right,
but
right.
in the very beginning, the Joel, the dad, in the very,
Yes.
very, very beginning, he had a daughter who, like, you know, passes away. And in the game,
Hmm.
one of my students played that character, like the whole mocap thing. And it was
Oh,
so
that's so
exciting for
cool.
her at the time. Her name is Hannah Hayes. She's amazing. And I had remembered that. Now, I didn't play the game, but just recently, like literally 2 months ago, I was like, I got to watch the show. I hadn't even watched it. It's been on for a couple years now. And
Yeah.
I just binged it like, I don't know, 2 months ago and just devoured it. It was so good. I love all that kind of, you know, that the whole genre of anything like, you know, sci-fi or horror, or, you know, any of those types of things. I'm totally into fantasy, all that stuff. So I'd say
Yeah.
Last of Us. That would be so great.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would be really cool. And it's gonna be on for a while because I think I heard in a podcast episode somewhere that they plan to do like the next Last of Us game and add more stuff
ooh,
to it to make it
juicy.
longer.
Nice.
I think 3 or 4 seasons
Ooh,
they might do
fantastic.
more.
Oh, I'm on board
So
for that. I'm ready.
y-
Bring it on.
I'm ready for you. I will cheer you on until you get that audition and you book the role.
Yeah. Well, you can book it too. We'll do it together.
Yeah, yeah, we could do it together. That'd be
Yeah, that'd be
cool.
awesome. I actually have worked with
Uh,
some of my students.
I mean, hey,
It's crazy.
that does work.
I did an episode of Criminal Minds, and in the episode, the killer was killing families. So there was a bunch of kids in the episode. There were 8 children in the episode,
Oh
and
my.
5 of those kids were my students. Can you believe that? I couldn't
Oh
believe
my
it. So the
gosh.
2 that played my kids were actually my students, and it was really fun on set because, you know, they're used to me being the authority figure, you know, like in class telling them what to
Right.
do and all that stuff, and they'd come up and ask me questions, and I'd be like, "You got to go ask the director, or go ask this person, or go ask that." And I remember one of the boys, like, I sweetly like yelled at him like a mom. I was because I was like walking by his trailer, and his trailer door was open, and his clothes were like all over the floor, and I was like, "Hey, pick up those clothes and hang them up." But it was really cool. I mean, 5 of my students in the same show with me, that's crazy. It's
That's
crazy.
nice.
That's crazy. I feel like there's another one too, but it's like escaping me. I feel like there was a movie or something that I did.
Mhm.
Oh, you know, I just realized. I didn't have any scenes with her. That's why. Oh, and I'm just forgetting her name. That's going to sound terrible. I was in this movie with Jk Simmons called The Bachelors, and one of
Yes.
my students was in that as well. We didn't have scenes together though. Oh, I'm spacing on her
Okay.
name. She's going to kill me. But it does happen. It could happen.
Yes, it does. It does. I feel like The Bachelors, I haven't even seen that movie, but I now want to go see it. It's like a comedy romance movie. It's on Prime Video, so I have to go see it.
It's really good. I have to say, I'm
Yes.
really proud of it. It's a beautiful movie. You will cry and you will laugh. It's really,
Oh my
really
god.
good. It's so, so good. I had to look up her name because I was feeling like it's Katana Turnbull. I can't believe I because spaced on her name. Katana Turnbull. She's so talented. Oh my God, she's amazing. You're gonna
Ah,
love it. It's a great
okay.
movie. I highly recommend.
Oh yeah,
The
I definitely will write
Bachelors.
that down and put that on my list for sure. So you have mentioned that you have coached a lot of actors, kids, teens, adults, like you've done all of it. Tell us a little bit about the creation and the vision behind your business, Actorsite, and like what inspired you to start it.
Well, actually, I didn't start Actorsite. I
Oh,
did start working there in the year 2000, so long ago,
oh
as
wow.
a teacher. And I helped grow it. I helped nurture it and turn it into, you know, what it eventually became and is now. But originally, I was just working with in the kid and teen division, and then I started working with the adults. But Actorsite was founded by a wonderful man named J.P. Turnbull, like in the 90s. And sadly, he passed in 2020 of COVID. And we miss him so much. He was just a light in this world and an amazing person and mentor to me and so many others. And but about Actorsite, you know, I had helped build it, and I honestly couldn't stand the thought of someone else coming in and kind of goofing it up once he had
Mhm.
passed. And so my business partner, Amber Bohack, and I bought the business. And we're just both so grateful that we get to keep JP's legacy alive. And we're celebrating our 5-year anniversary next month of having taken it over. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
nice. I
yeah.
like that. Oh man, I like when I first discovered Actorsite, I was like, wow, this is like a really cool place. Like everything was virtual, which I felt was so nice because driving back and forth, it can be a lot, but I like that it's now open to everyone, whether it's voiceover, audiobooks, commercial, comedy, drama. The list goes on and on and on. And you have helped so many actors around the world who have been in major films, major TV shows, commercials, even. And it's honestly really inspiring to see the impact that you all have. Like you all bring this sense of care and this sense of knowledge that you all have had for like this past like 2 decades. And it's so nice to see how not only we can learn, but we can apply it to
Mm,
our craft and keep going forward.
mm.
So you have definitely taught a lot of different kids and a lot of different teens and adults. What are some of your proud success stories or like memorable moments from like working with actors through Actorsite?
Oh gosh, there's so many. There's so many. I mean, as you said, over the past 25 years that I've been doing this, literally not a single week goes by where I don't see one of my students, whether it's like a private coaching client or someone from group classes, in a commercial or a TV series regular, like on Netflix or prime time, ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever it is, Fox, in a guest star, a co-star, or big like giant movies, Marvel movies, like everything, Broadway, everything in between, you name it. So
Yeah.
it's so much so, in fact, that whenever I'm like home watching TV and I see somebody, I'm like, "Yay, there's so and so, one of my students." That my family is like, "Yeah, yeah, another one we know." They're like so over it because I literally say it all the time. They're just like, "Yeah, uh-huh." So sorry, my students. My family doesn't give a hoot, but I am like, "Woohoo!" Cheering. I just love
Yeah.
helping actors get out of their own way and like live up to their potential and just like live the dream, live that dream that they have. And I mean, as you know, I coach actors for specific auditions, but I also work in private training. And a lot of actors prefer private training to group classes. There are certainly
Hmm.
benefits from both. In group settings, not only do you get the opportunity to meet fellow artists and learn from watching what they do and how they respond to redirects and whatnot, but in private training sessions, that's where it really gets juicy, as you've experienced yourself, because you get an entire session dedicated just to you and exactly what you need to like up level and grow, as opposed to like maybe your 5-minute turn during a group class. It can be really powerful, but some
Yeah.
actors, prefer group settings, some like privates. But and you said when you came into Actorsite, it was all virtual. We were virtual, which we are now. So like prior to COVID, we used to have a studio space in Los Angeles, but then COVID happened and we went completely virtual. Now we just strictly only virtual. It's been amazing though, because we can work with actors literally all over the world. The majority are in
Hmm.
America, but quite often we have international students all the time. Last month, I had an actor from Italy in one class. And just this past
Oh,
weekend, I had a
wow.
lovely young actress from Botswana in South Africa in another class. And so it's just great that the reach has just literally gone all over the world. It's crazy.
Yeah, I find like everyone wants to be an actor or some type of creative in
Mm.
that same realm, whether it's voiceover, on screen, commercial, theater, audiobooks, whatever it might be. Everyone gets inspired by someone that they look up to and they want to like learn how did they do all of that and how can I also do that too and like keep it for the rest of my life. Whether I stay an actor for 10 years and then do something else, I still have that knowledge and that craft that I could apply to my next career down the line. And I see a lot of actors come through like online. I just see a lot of talk and I watch Actors on Actors from Variety magazine, which is like a great great series to watch. If anyone has ever not seen it, you have to watch it. Trust me. You'll learn a lot. But with Actorsite, when I was like coming through, I didn't know anything. Like I knew a little bit just by doing my own research, but I wanted to actually learn from someone who was in the business, someone who was working constantly and actually knew what they were talking about. And I find Actorsite just like a friendly, like it's like a home away from home for actors.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a family. It's such a family. And, we're all working actors that work at actor sites. So it's like we're not just giving you our experience from working as coaches and teachers, but also our experience being on set and auditioning, just like all the actors. So it's like you're getting kind of a twofold experience, which I think is really awesome. It's really great.
Yeah.
It's
It
interesting how you're
definitely
saying like everyone wants to be an actor, and I think it's true to a certain extent. I mean, there's some people that are
yeah.
super shy and they're like, "Oh my god, I could never do what you do," but there's like a lot of people that aren't like working for it as hard as they're wishing for it. It is hard work. There is a
Yeah.
lot
It
of
is.
blood, sweat, and tears and time and energy that you have to put into it. And I think a lot of times people just see like the limelight, the red carpets and the award shows and all that
Mhm.
fancy part. And it's like, that's the kind of icing or maybe even just the cherry, but everything else that makes that cake, that's the real stuff.
It definitely is, yes. So I'm glad that you actually mentioned that, like, when it comes to being an actor, you can't just like flip on a camera and do your lines and like that's it. Like that's not how that works. There's a lot that goes into it. You have to like train, you gotta understand what you're doing, you gotta have very like specific goals and understand like your character day in, day out. Basically kind of like basically taking your character and making it yourself. So how do you like approach preparing for like a new role? How has your process changed over the years, or has it stayed the same?
Uh, it's funny. It's like sometimes I have to remind myself what I teach my students because I get caught
Yes.
up and I'm busy with life and audition pops in and my instinct might just be to do some quick prep. And then I'm like, no, wait, stop. I got to give this the focus and attention it deserves. It's like practice what you preach, Kimberly. Just today, I was telling you, I was doing these auditions and I had three. I have three auditions that I had to do today. I've done two of them. And I knew I was doing this with you and I have some other stuff. I have a class later and some coachings and I was like scrambling a little bit and I was feeling under the gun like with time pressures and almost like cut myself short and then I was like, "Wait, girl, what? Hold on, do it right."
Mhm.
And I didn't want to rush it just to get them done and so I just really focused on the ones that were due first. The ones that had the earlier deadlines and got two of them done. I have one more to tape, but it's like there's a whole process. You know, because we've worked on this. There's like a whole scene breakdown, character analysis. It's not, of course, learning the lines, but it's not even about the lines. It's about all that other, like you said, kind of digging into a person's perspective and what makes them tick and
Yeah.
why do they react the way they're reacting and what are their obstacles and what are they trying to achieve and what's all that juicy stuff. There's a
Mhm.
lot to it and the more you dig into that the meatier it is. It's more interesting to play, it's more interesting to watch for the viewers, the audience, and it's like all about storytelling, but you don't want to just tell a vanilla story.
Right. Right.
Nothing
I
wrong
think
with
that's
vanilla,
why
but
right,
you know
exactly. I think that's why like TV has gone on for so many years, as I feel like it's been on forever, honestly. And I think what like the light bulb like switched, like turned on for me. It's like, wow, this story's really, really good. They know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. And it makes me believe them.
Mm,
Sometimes I think sometimes actors are like their characters are real people. And I'm
mm.
like, you're doing something really good. Like, for example, Gilmore Girls. I love that TV show. It's honestly the best TV show. I'm rewatching it right now. Lorelai and Rory, their family dynamic, Emily, Richard, like whole cast, and Paris. Like, it's just when you have a good cast that blends so well that you forget that they're acting,
Mm.
that's when I think I feel it was made like just for them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like basically kind of like a reality TV show, but in a certain way,
Yeah.
you know?
I think sometimes, not for all shows, but sometimes, especially for longer running series, as the show kind of takes off, like in the first season, the writers s- get to know the actors and like their kind of idiosyncrasies and their personalities, and they sort of start writing for the actor, you know? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So sometimes it's exactly what you're saying. They are bringing kind of some little piece of themselves to it. But then there are times when the actors are playing total characters that have nothing to do with them, that are nothing like,
Right.
some killer or some just something totally different and unique. But when you can watch performances where you can see the actors, they're living it as opposed to like performing it, it really draws you
Yeah.
in. At least it draws me in more,
Oh, it definitely draws me
for
in way
sure.
more. Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, ER. Like
Yeah.
there's just
Yeah.
so many good things about TV and movies that, and even theater, just it really makes you think differently. And like you just like that, like when did like who was your like the person that you looked up to as an actor that I would love to be in this business?
Mm. Ooh, that's such a good one. I always feel like that, like when I was younger, like in my 20s, that I wanted to be like Sandra Bullock. But
Yeah.
it was because, I mean, she's so lovely and super talented and, Oscar winner. But what I like about her is that she does comedies and she does drama. She does a little bit of both. And not all actors do. Some of them, kind of stick to their lane or whatever. A lot of them do. But I just always loved that about her career and just was like, oh, I would love to follow that kind of path. Just because it's like
Mhm.
in my house, we're always laughing and goofing off in the house. I just love all things comedy, but I can also yank out a tear when needed. And
Yeah.
I love diving into really like emotional, vulnerable pieces. My mom always says, I don't like seeing you die on TV so much. I tend to die on TV a lot. Like, sorry, not sorry, mom. I can't help what I book.
Hey.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, honestly, it's definitely very true. Like my family and I, we love everything, but I think we lean more towards like the drama sometimes, but we
Hmm.
do love a good comedy every once in a while. It's always my thing. Like I grew up on Disney and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. Those were like my happy joy moments. And then I really got into like the nitty-gritty of the shows. I'm like, oh wow, things are getting a little bit crazy around here. Let me sit down and invest all of my life in this.
Yeah, yeah. You can't help but like just binge watch a show when you dive in, like, or you get an audition for a show that maybe you haven't seen, so you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch an episode, and then it's like the weekend has gone by and you've watched like 30 episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But wait, I want to
Yeah.
know who you've looked up to. Like, do you have an actor or actress that you've kind of looked up to them?
Oh, definitely. Denzel Washington.
Ah,
He is absolutely phenomenal. I've watched almost all of his films and I'm still going through every single thing on his list and he still has more coming. And just the way he holds himself, not only as an actor but as a person in on and off screen and sometimes behind the camera, it's the way he approaches a role and makes it personal, where it makes you feel something. It makes you feel heard, seen, alive. And there weren't really a lot of, like, at least for me personally, from what I've seen, there weren't really a lot of black males on television that had leading roles,
mm,
and it was always so hard to find them because you had to like it was like a needle in a haystack sometimes. But now there's so many of them. And it's so nice to see someone who looks like me on the big screen and
yeah.
saying, hey, I can do this too. If he can do it, so can I. And that's literally all the that's all I literally needed is like someone who looked like me saying that you can do this too.
I love
but you
that.
have to do it for
I
you
love
and
that.
not for X, Y, and Z reasons.
Here's what I want to happen for you. You'll book a movie with him. Oh, that'd be so great.
Yes,
If you
that
could
would be
like
a
tell him all
dream.
this, that'd be so cool.
Hey, honestly, I am working my butt off as much as possible to achieve that goal. That's my next thing on my bucket list. I usually make a little actor's bucket list every so often. It's coming up where 5 years of doing all of this, it's time to make another 5 year plan to see
Nice.
where things go.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. So with like TV and film and just everything in between, like what do you prefer like working in? Comedy, drama, a little mix of both?
Yeah, I like both. I like to do both. I mean, the a fun thing would be like a character that's funny, but also, is dramatic. I mean, that'd be lovely if it was even in the same role. But it's like it's kind of funny because it's like with actors, unless you're making your own, you know, shows or films or whatnot, we don't know what we're gonna book. We don't,
Right.
I mean, certainly there are people that are like, I only want to do one thing, and that's fine. But for the most part, we just want to work. So we
Hmm.
don't know if the next thing we book is going to be a comedy or a drama or a horror film or whatever it is. But it's like we just want to work.
Hmm.
But I like doing all of it. I think
Yeah.
I like doing all of it. I'm as a big fat scaredy cat watching like scary horror movies, but I would love to be in one.
Oh, yes. Hello. I mean, they are making Scary Movie, I think Scary Movie
Oh
6,
my
and
gosh.
that's like a combination of like comedy and drama with like the Wayne brothers.
Oh boy.
So I'm very excited to see how that's going to go
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
But what I'm manifesting for you is to definitely book a role as like on the same side as Sandra Bullock in the same film
That'd
or
be
TV
awesome.
show.
That'd be awesome. I
That
would love
would
it.
be awesome. So you've worked with a lot of different directors over the years, and I think you learn from a director each time that you go. Like, what's your method for like adjusting to different directors' like style on set?
Mm.
Because every director has their own style of like filming and doing things and directions. Like, how have you like adjusted?
Yeah, that's so true because some like work really fast and some have you do the scene 20 times. I'd say I just try and listen and observe and go with the flow.
Mm,
I'm there to help them tell the writer's story in the director's vision, right? So I would say too, I try not to be afraid to ask questions. If I have any questions, I'll
mm-hmm.
like ask. I don't want to be shy. I always ask the makeup artists when they're doing my makeup what the vibe has been like with the director that day or during that shoot because they'll give you all the juicy gossip. That's my tip. Anybody out there? I'm always like, hey, if it's like a director, I don't know, how's the director? Are they moving fast or slow or whatever? And they'll tell you all the good stuff. I've worked with some amazing directors and some not so amazing directors. I had a
Mm.
director once tell me, Kimberly, I want you to say the words like they're cooking in your mouth. Like what?
Oh.
Like what the heck does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. It's very poetic, but I don't even know what that means.
Hey, I guess food or something. I don't know.
It's crazy. I don't know.
Um, I don't know, but like honestly, what I find like directors, I've only worked with a couple directors in my short time of being an actor in this industry, but it's always like so cool in how they work. And it kind of makes you think, can I be a director too? Like, yeah, you
Mm,
can.
mm.
It's another form of storytelling, but behind the camera.
For sure. For sure. There's a lot of
So,
actors that end up directing, for sure.
yeah. And speaking of actors, have there been any actors that you've worked with that have taught you something like profound or like unexpected?
Ooh, I've had the opportunity to work with some incredible actors, like including many Oscar winners, which sounds all fancy, I know. But
Yes.
sometimes I'm like, somebody pinch me. I can't believe I'm here. But what sticks with me the most wasn't really any deep philosophical thing, but it's really just how chill they are, or they were when like working with them. So it's like these actors at the top of their game, they're not obsessing over perfection. They were just playing. They're present and they're like curious and alive in the scene, and just being around that kind of energy taught me to just loosen my grip, because I am such a total type A kind of girl. And it's just kind of over the years reminded me that the magic really happens when you stop gripping so hard and just live it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that was a huge
Yeah.
shift for me, not trying to control every moment. Now I'm still totally prepared, but letting it unfold and just trusting that I've done the work is really freeing, and it's way more fun. It's way more fun that way too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. 100%. I agree. Well, it is time for a very special thing that we do here on the podcast
Uh-oh.
quite frequently.
Uh-oh.
It
Uh-oh.
is a rapid fire round.
Ooh, rapid fire. Hit me.
Okay, so first role you ever booked?
I booked a recurring role on the soap opera Passions. It's not on TV anymore, but the funny thing, my mom was like, "Oh, great! Now, does that mean I have to watch a soap opera now?" It's like, "Gee, thanks, mom."
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Dream director you would love to work with?
Ooh, Taika Waititi, hands down. I
Mm,
I heard him speak in an interview years ago, and I just immediately was like, "Yes, this is someone I want to collaborate with." I was like, "This is it. I'm in." He creates these like wild, funny, totally offbeat worlds that still manage to like hit you right in the feels. It's
yeah.
just like this combo of like heart and ridiculousness that I just would love to play in. I mean, come on, Jojo Rabbit. Oh, amazing. And
Hey,
I loved the TV show Reservation Dogs, and I mean, who doesn't love like
yes,
Thor Ragnarok? I mean, Taika. Love Taika.
yes. Huh. Most underrated actor working today?
That's easy. The most underrated actor working today is, I mean, obviously you. Hello, clearly underrated. Let's get you a series regular already. I mean, Chicago Fire was
Hey,
awesome. More of that coming in hot, please.
please and thank you. Favorite book?
Ooh, oh, favorite. Well, right now, my favorite book, the one I'm currently reading, is called The 12-Week Year, by Brian Moran and Michael Lexington, something like that. It's about compressing and like breaking down your annual goals into shorter, more manageable cycles. So basically,
Ah,
if you follow it properly, you'll get a year's worth of work done in a 12-week cycle. I'm a go-getter at heart. The reason I'm reading it is because I'm working on creating a digital course to help actors overcome their nerves and like performance anxiety and stage fright, that kind of stuff. And I'm super excited about it. I'm hoping it'll launch sometime this fall. I had been working on it last year, and if you recall, I fell last summer, and I broke both of my ankles at the same time. I'm alive and
yeah.
happy and dancing now on my 2 feet, but recovering from that sort of threw my schedule off a bit. And this book is really helping me get organized so I can finally get this digital course out to the world. I know so many actors of all ages are going to benefit from it. I'm super excited.
Yes, and I cannot wait for that to come out, and I will be blasting it all over
Oh,
social media when it
thanks.
does.
Thanks. It's going to be cool.
Another question is most used acting tip you give to young actors?
Ooh. Lately I seem to be reminding a lot of actors that although you should always be memorized for auditions, even when casting says you don't have to be, because I feel like you are more free and can play more when you feel confident about what you're saying. But the thing is, I want actors to remember that it's not about being memorized, it's about being memorable. So it's sort of like an oxymoron to say be memorized, but don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's so true.
The role that got away.
Oh, ooh, that's a good one. The role that got away. Maybe I have the cop out answer of like, what's meant for me will find me. So none have gotten away. Maybe it was just some other girl's lucky day. No, that's lame. I would say honestly, I auditioned for several roles on several seasons of Stranger Things. That would have been such a
Oh,
cool thing. I didn't book any of those, but that would have been so cool. I love that show.
oh, that would have been a
That would have
dream.
been so
Oh,
good.
and the last and final rapid fire question.
Yes.
One word to describe your acting journey.
Um, Spicy. Definitely not
Oh,
bland. Oh, that's not one word. No, wait, let me change. Twisty. who,
twisty.
who
Okay.
knows where the plot will twist to next?
I like that. That's a good one, twisty. I'll
Twisty.
keep that in mind. Well, thank you, Kimberly Crandall, for coming on my podcast, Hello Spring. It was really great to have you on here. I cannot wait to see what you do next, especially for Actorsite on screen, maybe one day on the theater. Who knows? Especially getting that next role, whether in a commercial, TV, film, series regular. Manifesting series
Yeah.
regular for you, especially working aside Sandra Bullock. Yes, indeed.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun. You're just always such a delight and smiling, and every room you walk into, you just light it up. And I think that the best thing we could do is like work together. Let's book something
Yes.
together and get on set together. That would be so fun.
Yeah, that would be so much fun. Wishing you the best of luck always and forever.
Yay. Thank you so much. Take care.
Yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you for coming to the podcast, and I will see you next time. Alrighty, friends, that was the end of today's episode on Hello Spring with Kimberly Crandall, and I want to give a huge thank you to Kimberly for sharing not only her incredible career highlights, but also her heart for empowering actors to believe in themselves and embrace in their craft. From sets of hit TV shows to classrooms filled with dreamers, Kimberly has reminded us that success isn't just about landing the role, it's about the courage to step into your own spotlight and keep growing no matter where you are in your journey. If you were inspired by today's conversation, make sure to follow and connect with Kimberly on all the platforms, check out Actorsite, and even maybe take a leap into the creative world you've been dreaming about. Because, besties, I was one of you all. I'm still tapping into that creative world, and it's been so fun so far. Until next time, keep creating, keep shining, and remember, your story does matter, and the world is waiting to see it. My name is Stephen Works, and this has been Hello Spring. Make sure you go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, and I will see you all next time. Bye!